we get, they asked me if I want to come back to Marion County. I said, yeah, sure. Back to Marion County. We get in the vehicle, shoot back over to Marion County. We must have been like a Suburban or something. A guy on my right, a guy on my left, two in the driver's seat. Everybody's got guns out, the wazoo. We pull up. They take me in the interview room. They strip butt naked. They said they're making fun of me and taking pictures and posing with me and stuff. And it got bad. Like, it was a freaking circus. These people thought it was a freaking joke. It was a freaking circus.
I think this whole process has just been one big circus because we all know I wasn't given a fair trial. But to sentence me to death, you're potentially sentencing someone, as the law sees it, as innocent, to death. Been doubt towards whether or not I'm innocent or guilty. The fact that I was never allowed the opportunity to have counsel to actually argue that I'm innocent, it's just, this whole thing just seems pointless. Maybe I'll get a new trial. Maybe you'll be responsible for executing an innocent man. I don't know.
And they said he took his skull and pulled his teeth out one by one with a pair of pliers.
I haven't seen that green chair right over by the wall. Which one? This one or that one?
That one's in
No, not there. That one.
There you go.
Like, I get these off, like, they're really killing my wrist.
I'm not gonna have any problems with you in here.
I'm not gonna fight. I'm not. If I was gonna run, I would have ran already.
Okay.
I got a hole in that hand, and as you can tell.
Okay. I'm Detective Luke from the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Okay. I think you know why I'm here to talk to you. Okay. Before we talk or anything, I have to advise you of your rights. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you calm?
I'm trying to turn myself in tonight.
You read and write the English language?
Yes, sir.
And you understand me well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Look at me for a second. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're not hurt or anything besides these little bruises?
I got a hole in my hand, 4 broken fingers, cuts all the way down. Look at this knee. I got one knee bigger than the other because that one's out of place right now.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about all that in just a second, okay? All right. I need you to hold your head up so you can talk to me. I don't need you resting. I want you to make sure you clearly understand everything I'm about ready to tell you, okay? And can you sit up for me in the chair? You have the right to remain silent. Can you look at me? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You understand me so far? I need a verbal yes or no from you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questions if you wish. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? I'm sorry. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand each of these rights I have explained to you?
Yes, sir.
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to, it says us here, but I'm saying me. Do you wish to talk to me now?
I'd like to give him one phone call because I need to get hold of somebody. I need to call my lawyer.
You want to talk to a lawyer? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, I'll talk to you, but I want to call my dad. I want to call my dad.
Hold on a second. You just said you want to talk to a lawyer. Did you want to talk to a lawyer or do you want to talk to me? I want to clarify that first.
I'm going to talk to a lawyer.
Okay. Stand up.
Is there any way I can go get some help though for this shit?
Yes, sir.
Like, I mean bad. Like, I'm hurting bad right now.
Okay.
And
The next question I'm going to ask you, are you willing to come back to Marion County with me voluntarily, or do you want to be booked here to Broward County's jail?
I'll come back with you.
I'm sorry.
I'll come with you to Marion County.
Okay. All right.
I got a question on what's going on. I have no idea. What the hell is going on?
I think you clearly know. I can't talk to you about anything. You've already requested your attorney. You lost that opportunity to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
So where am I going from here?
You're going to go right inside this jail, inside this holding cell until I get finished talking to some more people.
All right. And then am I going to Marion County?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can I get some help, Phil?
Yes, sir.
For real?
Have seen that green chair against the wall. You can try me out for me, sir? James Williams, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is this address here correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there a contact number for your cell phone number or home number?
I just got, actually, I give you my mom's number. I just got a new cell phone today, and I don't even know the number, to be honest with you. I can get it for you, though. I'm sure Daniel's got it.
Pick your phone
No,
number.
I don't have it on me.
You don't have your own?
It's in the car.
Okay.
It's in the car.
But this is your mom's number?
Yeah. It'll be 904-964-6711. And I can't get you my other number as soon as.
Hold on just 1 second, okay? I apologize, sir. Give you my card, okay? Detective Boyd from Marion County Sheriff's Office here in Ocala, Florida, okay? Mr. Williams, I understand that you have some knowledge of what someone told you,
Yes, sir.
okay? Would you raise your right hand for me? I'm just, you solemnly swear the statement you're about to give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me how you became involved in this and what knowledge do you have?
Okay. I just run down everything exactly to you as what happened.
Okay.
Yesterday, I got a call from him, actually from my daughter, wanting to know if he could come up and stay at my house for a couple of days. At which point she didn't tell me anything more than that. And then he called shortly thereafter. And I said, well, he said, look, I got in an altercation in Ocala, the place I was living, got into a fight, and they threw me out of the house and I needed a place to stay for a few days while things cool down. I said, well, okay, come on. He says, I'm on my way. I said, okay. Thought it was kind of a little odd.
So he asked you if he can come stay at your house?
Yes. I said, okay, a couple days, whatever. Just, of course, he didn't tell me anything like what was really happening. And I said, okay, fine. So he shows up, and this was yesterday.
How did he show up to your house?
Oh, okay, he called me up for directions. I'm trying to give him directions. Obviously, neither one of them, whoever the other guy, which I never even seen myself,
Mm-hmm.
so I was explaining that to you, was driving him up here. A friend of his, I presume is what it said. And they ended up not following the directions. They ended up going all the way to Lake City and on I-75 and coming across Providence Highway, and they didn't even know how to get to my house from there. So at which point he asked me, is there any way I could meet him up there in Lake Butler to show him the way back to my house? And I said, all right. So instead of myself going, I sent my son. I said, Jimmy, go up there, meet him at Jackson Building Supply, right across from the...
What's your son's name?
James Williams, Jr. Told him to meet him right at Jackson's Building Supply right there on Lake Butler. Told them boys how to get there, and Jimmy knew how to get there. I said, show them the way back.
Where'd you meet him at, I'm sorry?
He met them at Jackson Building Supply.
Jackson? Is that what you're saying?
Jackson Building Supply is the name of the hardware store. It's right by Spires.
Okay.
They met him right in that area somewhere. He was Mike was looking for the Lincoln. He knew my car.
Okay.
He was looking for a Lincoln. They met him, and I assumed they were going to follow Jimmy, my son, back to my house.
Was your son with anyone else?
I don't think so. I think he was by himself.
Definitely. You telling me you didn't go down there?
No, I didn't go down there. Not at all. And the only reason is because I was needing to go to bed.
Okay.
To go to work, and I work a graveyard shift.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Greg went down there with him or not. I honestly don't recall if he went by himself or if Greg might have went with him. It was my nephew who went back to Sarasota.
Okay.
I'm not even sure. I'll let him answer that, but I think Greg might have been with him, but I'm not positive, to be honest with you. Stead.
Spell it?
S-T-I-D.
S-T-I.
I'm not sure if it's D or D-D. I think it's S-T-I-D. Stead.
Okay. Okay, so they went and met with
They went
Mike.
to meet with him to show him the way back to my house. Went to meet him in Lake Butler to show him the way back to my house because they were
Okay.
lost.
Did he just get in a vehicle with your son, or
That's what ended up happening.
Okay.
And the boy that was riding him, Mike's friend or whatever, said, well, look, I'm just going to jump back on the interstate. You can jump in the car with them,
Okay.
and they can take you back to the house.
Okay.
And I said, oh, okay. You know, and I'm talking to him on the phone the whole time, telling Jimmy, okay, did you meet him? He should be meeting him right up here at Spires or at the Jackson Building Supply. You know, and Jimmy said, yep, there he is right there. He's seen us, you know, and then they brought him back to the house.
Okay.
At which point, I just assumed that what he told me was exactly what was going on.
Okay.
We hung out for a little while. I went to bed. Well, I get up at 10 o'clock, 9:30 tonight to go to work, be at work at 10:30. And right before I go to work, he says, Jimmy says, I got to tell you something, man. He said, I haven't been real honest with you. I haven't told you exactly what happened. I said, well, what are you talking about? And he said, you know, and he started getting all emotional, and I kind of figured it was something, you know, and I said, what's going on, Mike? And he said, Jimmy, he said, at that point, I believe he said yesterday or the day before, I believe he said the day before, that somebody had raped his little sister, and he shot him 8 times and killed him. Is exactly what he told me. And I started talking to him, and I said, look, man, I said, I'm telling you right now, I don't need no trouble like this. And I said, you don't either. The best thing for you to do is turn yourself in. I got talking to him about that, and he pretty much agreed that that's what he was going to do. Said he was going to call his father to come get him. Well, at this point, I didn't want to leave, but I got a messed up job where I work, and there's no way I can contact anybody at work. Excuse me. So,
Where do you work at?
Gilman Building Products in Lake Butler.
Okay.
The maintenance man. So what I did is I told them, I didn't tell them I was going to be right back. I told them, you call your dad and have him come get you. You know, and turn yourself in.
Uh-huh.
I took off, went straight to work, punched in, went and sat down with my boss man and told him exactly what was going on. And that I was going back to take this boy downtown and turn himself in.
Okay.
At which point I came back and met y'all there.
Cops were already there.
And, you know, I was probably gone 30 minutes, maybe a little more, 40 minutes at the tops.
Okay. So he told you tonight that he hadn't been truthful with you.
Yes.
That he's going to be honest to you, be honest with you.
Yes.
And Mike told you that the day before, which is Sunday,
Yeah.
because today is Tuesday, that somebody raped his little sister,
Yep.
and that he shot him 8 times and killed him.
Yep.
Did he give you any details of what he did?
No.
Nothing?
No.
That was it?
That was it.
Okay. And then you kind of talked to him, told him that he needed to turn himself in.
Right. And then at what point he started getting emotional, you know, and of course, you know, I don't know the boy. I've met him 4 times. He's my daughter's boyfriend. And he's been, yes, that's my daughter. And he's been up to my house to stay the night, like 3 or 4 different times.
Okay.
Maybe only 3 times, but I think I met him 4 times. And just briefly, for a night or whatever. And usually I'm having to work, so,
You're not there.
my daughter's just basically coming up to visit and bringing him up, and, they spend the night and go back the very next day.
Okay.
And that's all I know of him. I don't know him personally at all. I thought he, other than his looks, with his earrings and his lip rings and tattoos and stuff, I thought he was a respectful, seemed like a good, honest kid to me, other than his appearance, which I, bashed him on to begin with, but that's just me. But, I kind of overlooked it and thought, well, he seems like a pretty good kid.
Okay.
And let it go at that.
Okay. Anything else that I haven't asked you and you think I should know?
I can't think of one single thing. Like I said, this has all been a big shock to me.
The day before, on the 18th, when he came to your house, he contacted you and said he needed a place to stay. He got into a fight at the house.
Kicked out of his house.
He got kicked out. He needed a place to stay for a couple of days.
While things cooled down.
And then he came to your house, and then just before you got ready to go to work, he confided and disclosed to you that he had killed somebody.
That's right.
Okay.
And I would never even have left my house if it would have been the situation with my job.
Right.
Because I was talking to him right then about turning myself in. At the last minute, I'm looking at my clock, and I'm like, I gotta go punch in, and
I understand
which I didn't tell him I was coming right back.
Right.
I told him, I convinced him, and he said, I'm trying to get a hold of my dad. I made up my mind, I'm going to have my dad come get me, and I'm going to turn myself in.
Okay.
I said, son, that's the best thing you can do.
Okay.
And
do you know if he told anybody else what he did?
I have no idea.
That your wife that's at the house?
I have no idea. I don't know.
No, you don't have any idea if that's your wife at the house?
No, that's not my wife.
Okay, who's the pregnant lady?
That's my girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I apologize.
Right, that's fine. That's fine.
You don't know if you told your girlfriend anything?
And she said he did after he told me.
Okay.
But see, nobody, I guess they didn't say nothing to me.
Okay.
Because he didn't say nothing to me at which point. At which point, I don't know what he told anybody else. I honestly don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, let me talk to your girlfriend. I'm going to talk to your son. And then, is Josh your son or is your
No, he's a neighbor. My son's friend.
All right. Thank you very much.
All
I
right,
appreciate it. Here's your ID back. Okay?
All right.
Have a seat in that green chair that's against the wall.
Okay.
Let me get some information from you. What's your name?
Crystal.
Spell it for me.
CRYSPAL.
Your middle name?
Danielle
Your last name?
Anderson.
Your date of birth?
1/17/82.
And you live at that house that we just left
Yes,
at?
sir.
What's that address again?
9796 Northwest County Road, 225, Stark, Florida, 32091.
Now, do you have a cell phone or
Yes, sir.
house phone or anything to get in contact with you with?
My cell phone number is 904-263-2201.
Okay. You raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear the statement that you're about to give me is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did you become involved, or what knowledge do you have about this case?
Kristen had called James yesterday, which is my fiance,
Okay.
and had asked him.
Now, were you there present when all this was going on?
Yes.
Okay.
And had asked if Mike could.
James was her dad.
Yes. If Mike could come spend the night. And he was like, yeah, I guess. And Kristen had told him.
Did you say why? Okay.
And then the next thing I knew was that he was on his way to our house. And then Jimmy, which is
What day did all this here occur on?
the It was yesterday.
I'm sorry, I've been working. What's the day? The day is Monday. So they said it was Monday.
No, today is
Today's Tuesday.
Tuesday. So it was Monday the 18th.
Okay. So on Monday, Christian called her dad, which is James, and said, "Hey, can Mike come stay at the house?"
Yes.
And he said yes.
Right.
And then what happened after that?
And then Jimmy, which is Kristen's brother, went to meet him in Lake Butler and picked him up. Well, he was there and the kids were on the porch and I was in.
So Jimmy went and picked Mike up from Lake Butler?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what happened after that?
They come back to the house and they were all sitting on the porch. And
I was all Monday night?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I was in the kitchen cooking. I don't know what they talked about when they were out there because I wasn't out there. And then after I got done cooking and I got Jim up to go to work and he left, and Mike's like, "Can I talk to you?" And I was like, "Yeah, what do you need to talk to me about?" He's like, I need to talk to you about something. I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Are you in any kind of trouble or anything?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, what did you do now?" And he wouldn't answer me there for a minute. And I said, "Well, were you breaking in houses again?" I'm like, "Are you in that kind of trouble?" And he held his head down and he started to cry. And he's like, "No, it's worse than that." I'm like, "What do you mean it's worse than that?" And he said that he lived with a family that was like his own family. And he said that the little girl that lives there, that's 15 years old, said that her boyfriend had raped her. And I was like, "Oh my God, are you for real?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I killed him." I said, "What?" I said, "What did you do?" And then he said that him and some other people, I don't remember their names, but one of them had hit him with a stick.
So Mike told you that the 15-year-old girl was raped.
Right.
And that he killed the guy who raped her.
Right. He said that another guy, it's the girl's brother, but I don't remember his name.
Okay. The victim girl.
Right. Said that it was her brother was beating him with some kind of stick thing. And that he shot him 8 times. And I was like, "What? You did what?" And he's like, "Yeah, I shot him like 4 times in the house. And then I shot him like 3 times outside." And he said, "Then I drug him back in the house and I put him in the bathtub."
Okay, so I'm trying to catch what you say. You shot 4 times in the house?
Yes.
And then 3 times?
In the yard. Because he was running out as Mike was shooting him.
So after the 3 times you shot him in the yard, what happened next?
He drug him in the house. And Mike placed the victim in the bathroom. In the bathtub, and he started beating him.
Who started beating him?
Mike started beating the guy he shot.
Okay.
And then he said that he beat him some more and he shot him in the face. And he beat him some more and he shot him again. And then he said,
where did you shot him again?
In the face.
So you shot him in the face twice?
Yes.
Okay.
While he was in the bathroom, in the bathtub.
Okay.
And then he said that later on that night that they had built a fire and that they had burned that dude that they had killed, and said that whenever, or no, I'm sorry, he wrapped him in his sleeping bag.
Wrapped him in a sleeping bag before he burned him?
Yeah, and then he burned him in the sleeping bag. And then whenever he got his body burnt and everything, his skull wasn't all the way burnt. And he said he took his skull and pulled his teeth out one by one with a pair of pliers. And he said that after he did that he took 5-gallon buckets and put the ashes in the buckets. And him and the girl's stepdad.
What kind of bucket was this?
A 5-gallon bucket. That him and the girl's stepdad had driven to some place where they go swimming at, and had took cinder blocks and tied them to the bucket and threw his body in the river.
So him and the girl's dad took the body they put into the 5-gallon buckets, took it to a swimming hole, and then they disposed of it inside the water?
Yes, sir. And I asked him what he killed that guy with, that kid. And he said that he used a 22. I want to say he said a 22 caliber with a silencer on it. And he said he threw that in the river too, where they dumped the body.
You saying a river or?
Where they go swimming on.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's a river.
Okay. So he disposed of the gun that he killed the guy with in this body of water.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else that he told you?
That was all.
That was it? Okay. Did you believe what he told you?
At first I did, and then like he was talking about it today, and he called his dad, and his dad told him that's what had busted through their house, and they were looking for him. And I told him, I said, Mike, I said, you got to tell Jim what's going on. You got to tell him. I said, I can't let him get in no trouble because you want to be crazy. And after he had told Jim, and Jim left to go to work, I was scared. I got scared because I had walked outside and he was cutting his wrist with a knife. And I flipped out. I was like, what are you doing? And I had called my cousin that lives across the road, but nobody was home because I was scared. I didn't know what to do.
Okay. And is that when we showed up?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, okay? And,
I'm not going to be in no kind of trouble or anything.
no, ma'am. Did you partake in any of this?
No, sir.
Okay. There's no way that you can be in any trouble, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay? And I'm going to take you out and talk to you. I guess that'll be your stepson?
Mm-hmm.
And then his friend? Okay. In that green chair along the wall. On the wall.
Works for me.
Yes, sir.
See y'all.
You okay?
Yes, sir.
You have your ID on you?
Yes, sir.
No? Okay, I know you told me at the house we were gonna go through it again, okay? What's your name?
James Williams. James Ellen Williams. Jr.
What's your date of birth?
3192.
You gotta speak up and clear.
March 1st, 92.
What's your address?
9796. Northwest. County Road 225. Start.
You have a phone number?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
352. 1 second. I don't even know my own phone number. 359 8106.
Okay. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear the statement that you're about to give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me your involvement or your knowledge of this case.
He's my sister's boyfriend for roughly 2 years. My sister had.
Who was your sister? What's her name? Okay.
She had said that Mike was coming up here, and I didn't exactly know why. I met him.
When did she tell you this?
She didn't tell me. I found out actually from my dad and Danielle that he was coming up.
So you learned this from your dad that
Danielle
that he was coming up?
Yes, sir. And I met him and another guy in Lake Butler at Spires, IGA.
Did you know why he was coming to your house?
Not until he got here, and he had told me.
So you met him and another guy?
Yes, sir. I don't know the other guy's name. I know he's in a red truck. I believe it was a Ford.
Met him and another guy in Lake Butler?
Yes, sir.
What happened after that?
We rode back to my house.
Who was we?
Me, my cousin, and
who was with you?
Gregory Allen Stead.
Gregory?
Yes, sir.
What's his last name?
Stead. He actually just went back to Sarasota today.
Spell his last?
STIDD.
You have a phone number for him?
Yes, sir. 941 225 3556.
Okay. And he was with you when you picked up Mike?
Yes, sir.
And Mike was in this truck with this red truck with this guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you picked Mike up in Lake Butler?
Yes, sir.
And what did you do after that?
We brought him back to my house. We hung out that night. And see, he told me that the reason he was up here is because he had gotten in a fight with a black male. And he had a cousin that was looking for him.
That he was in a fight with a black male?
Yes, sir.
And the black male's cousin was looking for him?
Yep. And he needed to get away from where he was until that calmed down. And then I learned tonight.
Oh. Okay.
Then I learned tonight that.
And I'm sorry, what day did he come to your house?
Yesterday. He stayed last night. That's all. So the 18th.
That'll be Monday?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Today is.
Today is actually Wednesday.
Wednesday, but it's really Tuesday.
I've been up a while. Okay. So he stayed at your house. He told you basically that he got into a fight with a black guy.
Yes,
the black guy's cousin was looking for him. He needed a place to lay low for a couple of days.
He said he was going to get jumped, and he wanted to get the hell out of there.
Okay.
Well, then tonight, I learned that, or today, when we were at Walmart and stuff, we went to Walmart. We went to Walmart like 3 times now today. But anyways, he was talking to my cousin Greg's girlfriend and me and Danielle. We all went to Walmart. Well, anyways, he was saying all this bullcrap about he shot somebody 8 times,
So he told you he shot somebody 8 times.
Am I going to get in trouble for saying any of this?
Did you have any involvement in it?
No.
Okay, so I'm just trying to learn what he told you.
Okay.
So he told you he shot somebody 8 times?
Yep. And then that he supposedly burnt. See, I didn't want to believe him because he'd been talking about it too much, and I figured someone really did that. They wanted.
Okay, but just tell me what he said.
That they burnt him at his house.
Burnt the body?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they put him in 5-gallon buckets, and they put him away. And I didn't honestly believe him because he was talking too much about it, and I figured if someone really did that, they wouldn't talk about it like that. I guess I'm wrong.
Anything else he told you?
And then tonight, he was trying to get a hold of my sister. So was I, because after I learned that, I'm like, what's up with my sister? I want to know what's up with my sister. And I started blowing up my sister's phone and her friend Katrina's phone. And no one texted me back to it. I guess they just got their phones back. And I just told my girlfriend this. And
is that when we showed up at the house?
Yeah. And I said something bad's gonna happen. And Dad's gonna make him turn. See, my dad told me, or told him, he went to my dad because he was staying there, and he told everybody there that he got in a fight. Well, I guess he called his dad off of my buddy Josh's phone, and his dad said swap us down his door. And I said, holy sh! So I'm like, okay, maybe he is for real. And then I called my girlfriend, and then we were sitting out there by the barn. Me and Josh went out front, smoked a cigarette, and I seen 500 cars, so I walked out back to see what the hell was going on. And then
that's when we were there.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to try to sum this up. That you pretty much learned from your dad that Mike was going to be coming down to the house to stay. Your dad told you to go pick Mike up.
And my sister.
Okay, but your sister didn't show up.
Yeah.
Okay. But your dad told you to go meet Mike. You met Mike in Lake Butler.
Because they were lost.
And you picked Mike up from a guy driving a red pickup truck. Mike told you that he needed a place to stay. Basically got in a fight with a guy. The guy cousin was looking for him. He needed a place to lay low. You say on the 19th, which would be the next day, Tuesday, and he ended up telling you, was he bragging about it?
Yeah, a lot. And then just tonight, actually.
He was bragging, and he told you that he had shot a guy 8 times. He burnt the guy's body. He said he shot him 8 times with a 22?
Yeah. That's what he said. And supposedly the guns were still at his dad's house. I don't know. But he kept on saying he got rid of the disposable. That was a disposable. And then he was saying if they got rid of my guns, I guess, I'm assuming his dad's house. Because from what I know, because we picked them up a couple times. See my sister and him come up here on the weekends and hang out and do barbecue and stuff. And see, I've always, when we drop my sister off at work, we always drop him off at his house, which is right off of 480 or in Bellevue. And I've always pretty much, I think it's his grandma's house. I'm pretty sure his dad lives there with him. And we've always dropped him off there, so I'm assuming that's where it was, I don't know.
Okay.
And he said his guns and all his shit was there. And I kind of thought it was funny too, because he didn't bring that.
Okay. That's it?
Pretty much it.
Okay. All right, and you said Josh knows more too, all right?
Josh, I don't know exactly honestly what he knows, but I know, pretty sure he knows.
Okay, well let me just talk to Josh. I don't want you to speculate or speak on his behalf.
And then another person you can talk to is Renee.
Where's Renee at?
She's at her house now.
Spell her name for me. Is it 2 N's?
R-E-N-E. Man. R-E-N-N-E.
What's Renee's last name?
Heading.
Heading.
I'm assuming.
What's your phone number?
904-263-8268. And see, he was also bragging to her in the Walmart parking lot.
Okay.
Because we went to go return a phone today, and Danielle had to go in and return the phone and all that, and we sat in the parking lot. We took 2 different vehicles. She drove her car, I drove my dad's.
Okay.
And we didn't want to feel like sitting in Walmart all day, so we went outside the parking lot, and they were talking, and he was really fucking with her about it.
Okay.
I was like, oh, you're scared? Shit, like, see under my nails, that's really him?
Okay.
He was telling me how he snapped his ankle, and
all kinds, and that's why I was angry, because I learned that, and I knew my dad said that he was coming back to the tournament. He had to go punch in the work so he didn't lose his job. And I made me and Danielle, or mainly Danielle, I didn't have no part of it when they talked. But Danielle said that you better tell Jim tonight, and if you don't, I don't know what she said honestly, but I know she made him tell him tonight.
Okay.
And then he did, and I was on the phone with my girlfriend.
Okay.
And
well, let me talk to Josh and see what Josh has to tell me. All right. All right. Have a seat on the chair, the green chair against the wall.
Yes.
You got your ID on you, Josh? How old are you?
18.
Is this your current address right here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have a phone? What's that phone number?
984.
That cell phone number?
Yes. 263. 8971.
Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear the statement that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me your knowledge and your involvement in this case here.
I have no involvement in it, but
Okay.
all I know is he told me that he shot this dude
What day did he tell you this?
today. I just got there not long before y'all pulled up,
Okay.
but he was telling me that he shot
Who told you this?
Mike. Mike told me that he shot this dude because he raped his stepsister, and he put him in the tub and
Hold on a second. He shot the guy because he raped his stepsister?
yes, sir.
And what else happened after that?
Mike told me that he drug him up the stairs, put him in the tub, and after he was dead, he still kept shooting him. And that's about all I know.
What kind of tub was this? In the house or out of the house?
In the house.
Okay. Like a bathtub?
Yes, sir. Well, that's what I assume it is.
Okay, but he told you put him in the tub, and what did he do that? Well, I mean, what did he do after that?
He shot him a bunch more times, made sure he was dead, and then he drug him through the woods, and that's about all I know. Like I said, I wasn't there long before y'all pulled up.
So I just want to make sure Mike told you that he shot a guy because he raped his sister.
Yeah. And, oh yeah, he did tell me partially because Mike's on a gang, and the other dude came by flashing his gang, and he shot him because of that, too. So that was partially the reason he shot him, too.
Because the guy was involved in a gang?
And he was in another gang.
So he was in the opposite gang that he
Yeah.
was in? So the victim was a part of another gang?
Yes, sir.
So I just want to make sure that Mike told you tonight that he had shot a guy because he raped his sister, and that he was involved in an opposing gang,
Yes, sir.
and that drug the guy in the house,
Yes, sir.
put him in a tub, shot him some more,
Yes, sir.
and then he drug his body across into some woods.
Yes, sir.
What else did he do after that? Or what else did he tell you after that?
I honestly cannot remember
Okay. Well, there was
because it wasn't my business.
you had told me there at the house, you had pointed to some burn thing that you guys had out there.
Oh, the phone.
Yeah, he had told us that he had threw his phone in there.
Yes, sir.
When did that happen? When he was talking to you about this?
No, it was a little bit after.
Okay. But you saw him dispose of his phone?
Yes, sir. I walked outside. I walked out the house and I seen him break it in half and then put it on a brick and took another brick and started busting it. And he and throw it in the burn barrel.
So you watched him break the cell phone up and he disposed of it into that burn
Yes,
barrel? Okay, anything else? That's it?
That's about all I can remember.
Okay. All right, I appreciate it. Okay?
Yes,
I'll
sir.
walk you out.